This edition of the Privacy News is brought to you by NordVPN. Here's an affiliate link. If you are looking for a VPN, you're in the market for one. Of course, I don't advocate a VPN for absolutely everybody, for absolutely every purpose. You can take a look at my video on truths and lies in VPNs, but there are absolutely great and legitimate reasons to use a VPN, and Nord is one of the ones that I would recommend. So my affiliate link is tlm.li/Nord. If you're on the market for a VPN, go ahead and have a look at them. You can connect up to 6 simultaneous devices, and you can utilize cryptocurrencies to purchase it. All they basically need is the simple email address. So great service, and it is not based within the Five Eyes, and that might be interesting to some of you. So on to our fun privacy news. Google sides with Saudi Arabia in this app that they have. So there's this app that, of course, in Muslim-controlled countries where there are certain laws which are quite sadly oppressive to women, the men have basically full societal control over the women in their lives, whether it be their wives or their daughters or whatever else. So there is this app that the men can install on their women's phones, which can literally spy on every single thing that they do. So there was a question about, is this app a violation of Google's policies or not? And Google kind of sided with them, basically saying, oh no, there's no issues with it. It's kind of frightening. It's one of these, I don't know. There's things I could say. I don't really want to go down that trend there, but imagine if this was a Christian app or just a general society app call it. I mean, this one here is called Absure. What if the app is just called Chauvinist, and it just allows some random white guy to install it on his wife's and his daughter's phones? There would be outcry in the streets, people. There'd be outcry in the streets. But oh no, this is attached to some Islamic state, and so it's okay with there because I don't know. But anyway, Google reviews the app and concludes it does not violate any agreements and therefore can remain on the Google Play Store. Way to go, Google. But speaking of Google being great in the news, particularly on the privacy front, there was an app for several of your smart TVs for sharing your photos that actually accidentally was sharing your photos with just complete and total random strangers on the internet. So whether you had naughty photos or just photos of your family vacations, random strangers could get in here and figure out what your pictures were and whatever. So they did confirm. Google did confirm, and they blocked the app out for a little bit. I'm not sure if this is back on or not, but why do we need an app? Like, why do you want to send all your photos to Google first? And then why do you want to put them on the smart TV? There's way better and way more secure systems to use for this than this. So, I don't know. Anyway, over to China. Of course, China has these rules about what can go on inside of their country, and if Apple wants to operate their Apple ID accounts over there, then the data on those accounts must be stored in Chinese servers. And of course, the Chinese government is taking a look at everything that's going on and monitoring all these messages. And it turns out that as they took all these messages out because they demanded the keys, think the similar type of law going on in Australia, only China is actually actively utilizing it. The messages were sent over to police surveillances, but they were sent out in plain text on an insecure database. And so there were, 364 million user records, which include personally identifiable information, IP addresses, utilizing things from WeChat, QQ. It contained photos, Chinese citizen ID numbers, GPS location. This is so wonderful. Isn't this just great? Those Chinese guys, man, they just want to keep a track on all these. And this is where Australia is going. And frankly, I think this is where a lot of the Western societies want to go. They're just waiting for us to be so numbed in the brain from our perpetual streaming services. We'll talk about that later in the news. that we just won't completely fully understand, you know, the implications until we are under the threat of this. So kind of creepy indeed. But China's not just keeping an eye out for their citizens. It turns out that there is now the little red app that all of your Chinese lawmakers in their quasi-democratic society are kind of mandated to download, which requires them to watch videos from the nation state and interact with it in certain ways, and then all of this, the app is going to send data back so that all of these people that are in theory the decision makers will actually have the, you know, the ability to check up on everybody. Of course, this is from the China Media Project talking about this a little bit further. But yeah, this is, not only are the Chinese government watching all their citizens, they're also watching all their somewhat empowered, not really lawmakers as well. The little red app made in China. Oh, joy. That's exciting stuff, isn't it? That's exciting stuff. All right, Facebook, back in the news. Facebook faces backlash over users' safety phone numbers. So if you had a Facebook account, what was going on here is, of course, you sign into your Facebook account, and they're like, oh, give us a number. It's for your account security. You can use this phone number to get back in your account if we suspect suspicious activity. If you watch my channel enough, guys, never use your cell phone for any form of verification. It becomes the absolute weakest link, and then the companies see it as the holy grail. Oh, you have the phone number, therefore you must be the person. But then the cell phone becomes the absolute weakest link. It's very easy to steal, especially when Equifax leaks data on every American citizen, for the love. But what ended up happening, though, is that Facebook's saying, oh, use your phone number for all this. People put it in under the pretense that the phone number was being input into Facebook specifically for security on the account, but then Facebook went ahead and attached that to everything else, attaching to the advertisers, attaching to the data being sold and shared, all this kind of stuff. So basically, you gave them the phone number under the pretense that it was only to be used for security, but they turned around and used it for everything instead. So this actually prompted them to add a little line down there, including and other things under the thing for greater security and other things. To my understanding, they added and other things to the list on there. So yeah, Facebook. This is quite exciting. Quite exciting. Social media is getting creepier. Have a look at this thing from Foursquare. This is coming from Foursquare's enterprise.foursquare.com. And they introduced this new feature called hypertrending. Hypertrending is kind of an experiment for them. They have it right now in Austin and a couple other cities. The idea is to see a live interactive map that doesn't have personally identifiable information in theory. Now, Foursquare has come out and basically said, yeah, we are very privacy centric, but we also want to show people what's popular right now. So you can see a picture of this map here. And basically the map is color coded into the number of users at that particular point. How many users are checking in? What are these users doing? All this kind of stuff, right? And so with this going on, they kind of are asking their users, is this creepy or is this not? In other words, can you pull up a map and see on this map, where is a great concentration of users? Where are they at? And things like this. What do you guys think? Is this creepy? Is this not creepy? Let us know in the comments down below. And on to our feature article. The disputed NSA phone program is shut down, Aide says. Yeah, footnotes. Yeah, we found that we tracked all this stuff and every single phone call that was being picked up was scammers. And so, yeah, we didn't actually want to solve any real crime, so we just ended... No. I mean, really, guys. Remember that the current statistics are, as of this year, over like 65 or more % of phone calls going on, at least in the United States, are going to be scam phone calls. Just random scam phone calls coming in through VoIP under spoof numbers from over in some third world country somewhere, which in full reality, we simply need to shut this crap down. We just stop. If the phone number can't be verified as coming from the source, I should be able to go into my system and say, you know what? I don't want international phone calls to come in, no matter what. If it's not traceable to a specific United States local country point, it's blocked. That should not be a very trivial thing for these telecom companies to do. It's just, contrary to their interests, really. But basically, back to this. So this is the wiretapping thing that Snowden first comes out and talks about the fact that they're collecting all this data, and then this came out and caused a big beef. So of course, this is against the law. But then they quickly turned around and passed another law in 2015 to make parts of what they're doing legal. And so technically it's legal until the end of December, but according to some security guys at the NSA, this is actually not being used anymore. They say they haven't used it in months. I have my own reasons why I think this is probably the case. Now, of course, the lawmakers in the United States have basically said, yeah, it's unclear whether we're going to be updating these, like extending these on further or not. I don't know. And then we'll just kind of see what's going on with this. And so, in my thought, I think what they're doing is they're gearing up for a whole lot more third-party doctrine. In other words, they don't need to collect all the information because a quorum of us citizens are just handing over all of this data to individual companies as it is. So we're handing over data to Facebook, we're handing over data to Instagram, we're handing over data to Google and to Microsoft. Our operating systems, our phones, our devices are so deeply integrated it becomes almost impossible to turn that off, that these companies have all of that data. And they can utilize third-party doctrine to gather the information without them even coming close to the law, specifically because third-party doctrine is completely illegal in the United States. So I just think that the NSA phone tapping system, they're trying to spin this out as great positive news that we're not doing this anymore. But I don't think it's actually really a valid thing because there's nothing here to get anymore. Nobody's using phones anymore. Like, we're using texting apps, we're using, WhatsApp, we're using Signal, we're using, all of these different things. And these are those types of things that we are looking to use instead. And so with that, I think that that's why, yes, it seems to be as though it's going to be stopped. But I just don't think that I think that the reason why it's stopping is simply because there's no useful data there anymore. We're just not utilizing the phones and the devices. So that's kind of my thoughts. That's what the articles are saying. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. This doesn't mean, by the way, clarification, this doesn't mean they're not spying on us. They're just not using our phone records. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, before you go, don't forget that you can help support this show. You can have a look at SwitchedtoLinux.com/support. Help support the show. And also don't forget, you can check out shop.switchedtolinux.com if you'd like a Switch to Linux t-shirt, coffee mug, or mouse pad. So you can have a look at those links over there. So thanks for coming along. Thank you for making it to the end of this Switch to Linux video. You can have a look at another video right on over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel or to Think Life Media, which is my own personal support page. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.